The 9 DLC characters for Shinobi Striker have been data mined. That's fake news. There has been a data mine by Sergio M3, again, and this data mine does contain some information. However, it does not confirm any of the characters for Season 2 DLC. It may hint at some characters, but my god, I expected better from my fellow YouTubers. Clickbaiting asshole. This video is brought to you by otakucharms.com. They are an online store selling anime-related streetwear, accessories, and more. Their wide selection of items includes a big Naruto collection. That hoodie is fire, literally. Or maybe you want to represent the Uchiha Brotherhood, in which case, you've got multiple color options. They've got a ton of items on sale, but if that's still out of your price range, you can check out their section of $10 or less. And the best part is, they've got free shipping worldwide. That's right, I don't care if you're out in the desert, dying of thirst, if you've got an address, you can order it and you won't pay for shipping. A postman will carry your hoodie on a camel for free. So if you want to buy this shuriken to kill your neighbor's dog who won't stop barking in the middle of the night, then all you pay is the 12 bucks. And then just wait for it to arrive at your doorstep. Actually, scratch that, because it won't even cost you 12 bucks. If you enter promo code Globku at checkout, you will get 10% off anything you purchase. And if you're still on the fence about the website, check out their verified reviews. It's nothing but happy customers. So go to otakucharms.com, the link is in the description down below, and don't forget the promo code Globku to get 10% off anything you purchase. Otaku Charms, thank you for sponsoring another video. Before we break down the data mine, because apparently the way Sergio did it was way too complicated for the average shinobi to understand, I want to highlight this tweet from the man himself. Sergio, seeing so many people taking his opinion as fact, felt the need to tweet out and tell everyone that the characters he predicted are his opinion. This is not like Season 1, where the characters were all just lined up in the list of the code and it was obvious. This is not confirmed by any means. And if the author of the data mine is telling you that these characters are not confirmed, who are you to say otherwise? So with that in mind, let's see what Sergio found. First up, we have the page with a list of mentors. Along with the characters that we already have available, we also have a list of numbers. D21, D22, all the way to D29. This most likely means DLC, Season 2, Character 1, which now we know is Zabuza. And it goes all the way to DLC Season 2, Character number 9, because it has been confirmed that we will have 9 characters this season. So unlike Season 1, this time they did not put the character names in this list. They're learning. Clever girl. So from this list, we cannot tell who's coming to the game because it's all coded. Who the hell is D22? I never played that character or watched it in a Naruto game or the anime. However, we do have some other characters in this list that we have not seen yet. We have Ino, Kiba, Sasori, and Shino. Ever since the game's release, there have been mentions for these and other characters through the game's code. This could mean that they were planned for the future, or that they were planned but then scrapped for the game, they were just removed. Whatever the case, if let's say for example Kiba, let's say Kiba would be the second DLC for Season 2, then why is there an item for D22? It doesn't make sense to have both the Kiba item and the D22 item if Kiba was indeed a DLC character. This isn't confirmed by any means, but I think it's a pretty big hint. This is the page with all the masters. This is the same page where Sergio found all of the DLC characters for Season 1. If a character is on this list and they are not playable, then they are not one of the 9 DLC characters. Having been unable to find a concrete answer, Sergio kept digging. He went through the character files and he found some hints, but nothing conclusive. And then he searched for Zabuza and he found this list. We don't know what this is. Sergio guessed it could be a folder with the animations for each character, but the truth is we just don't know what it is. And in this list, he found 15 characters that are not currently in the game. Zabuza, Ino, Kiba, Shino, Tenten, Temari, Killer Bee, Neji, Guy, Sasori, Naruto Next, and Sasuke Next, which could be the adult versions of Naruto and Sasuke, Mei, Onoki, and Haku. Since the DLC is only 9 characters and this list has 15, we need to start cutting. And we start by cutting the characters that we already said were not coming to the game. Ino, Kiba, Sasori, and Shino. Goodbye. That brings us to 11 characters, which means we still need to cut 2 characters out of this list. Sergio made the guess and cut Naruto and Sasuke, which are probably the adult versions, and what we're left with is the final character list that people are taking as the confirmed DLC for Season 2. Here's the thing. We don't know if they're gonna have duplicate duplicate characters. In anime games, we often see multiple versions of the main characters simply because they are too popular to ignore. Imagine getting a new Naruto or a new Sasuke as DLC. Most people would be a lot more excited to get that than when they got Tsunade for Season 1. She's just an example, I don't hate Tsunade. Looking at this list, would you rather get a new Naruto or Sasuke, or would you rather get Tenten? So that cut was kind of a wild guess, and then, even if this is indeed the animations folder, these are animations for what exactly? Are they animations for the in-game characters, for the playable versions? Could it not be the lobby characters? I don't know, maybe Zabuza shows up in the lobby during a special event. So once again, it's a guess based on a couple of very flimsy hints, and Sergio did an amazing job with the data mining, and he was also very upfront in this video, it's talking about his conclusions. So I was very surprised when I saw him being that upfront about things, saying, hey, we're really not sure, and then people jumping the gun saying, hey, the DLC is confirmed. What? No! So with that said, what is my opinion in all of this? Who do I think will be the 9 DLC characters coming to Shinobi Striker? Before any of the data mining happened, I looked at Season 1 and what trends they were following, and all 9 characters came from Naruto. We got 0 characters from Boruto. And on top of that, only 3 of the DLC were villains, those being Orochimaru, Obito, and Madara. There's a bias towards the good guys. Well, there are also a lot more good ninjas in Naruto than villains. So I believe these 2 aspects will carry over to Season 2. There will be no Boruto characters, and there will be more heroes than villains. Despite the fact that the first DLC is Zabuza, you are not leading me astray, Bandai. I will stick to my theory. From the characters guessed by Sergio, both Killer Bee and Neji are locks. They were a very obvious omission from Season 1, and heck, even maybe the launch roster. I honestly thought it was unbelievable when we found out that they weren't gonna be there, especially Neji. He's been one of the main dudes since the very beginning, and I can't think of many Naruto games where Neji wasn't playable. Also from the list, I think Temari is a strong contender. Not only is she a popular character with a unique moveset, her weapon is already kind of in the game, and that makes me miss her in the roster more than I usually would. So we got Zabuza, Killer Bee, Neji, and Temari. The last season got 3 villains. This season might get more or slightly less, but we will get 2 more for sure. The next villain on this list could be Haku. He could make it. He's definitely a good candidate, but I think there are better ones. Especially if Haku is not coming out together with Zabuza as like a pack, like they did with the Hokage. The first, the second, and the fourth all came out at the same time. And if they're not announcing Haku right next to Zabuza, I don't know if he's got the power on his own to sell DLC copies. So I've put together a list of the most likely villains to show up in the game, and this is what I came up with. Haku, Kimimaru, Danzo, Hidan, Kakuzu, Karin, Zetsu, and Suigetsu. Let's start cutting the ones that I think are the less likely to make it. Goodbye Karin, Zetsu, and Kakuzu. Let's also cut Haku because of what I mentioned before, and those were the easy cuts. Now it's gonna get a lot tougher. I would cut Hidan, but his weapon is already in the game, and they've proven that they don't always go for the most interesting choice, like freaking Tsunade. I swear I don't hate Tsunade. So I'm gonna say out of this list, Hidan is going to make it for the same reason as Temari, and we definitely need 1 more villain. So out of these 3, he's not my favorite, but Sharingan sells DLC, so I'm gonna say Danzo. He does have interesting abilities, he could be a cool addition, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the character. 3 villains, 3 heroes. The rest of the list is probably gonna be nothing but heroes, and if we go back to Sergio's list, I hate to say it, but Guy might make it. I like Guy, he's a fine character. I just think that perhaps Rock Lee's moves might end up being a bit similar. He might have a cooler ultimate, but that's it. Another taijutsu focused loadout. They've done things like this in Season 1 as well, redundant abilities, so I wouldn't put it past them doing something like that, and Guy is perhaps too popular to ignore. And we only have 2 characters left. Now, the question is, will they give us a new version of Naruto and Sasuke, or will they keep the entire roster unique? And I'm gonna say, we're gonna get duplicates. The 2 most popular characters in the entire show are hard to ignore, and this way they do get some Boruto representation in there, kinda. At the same time, they kinda don't, because it's freaking Naruto and Sasuke. So this is the list of characters I think will come with Season 2. I gave each one of them a reason why I think that is. Some reasons are better than others, but at the end of the day, hey, it's just an opinion. This is what I think will happen. This is not my wish list. You want to see my wish list? Alright. The characters on my wish list are just characters that I like and that I think would make interesting additions with their abilities. So it would be cool to use their abilities as your own, created avatar. Zabuza is there not only because he's confirmed, he was one of my most wanted characters before the game even launched. And the rest of the cast would be Haku, Suigetsu, Shisui, Neji, Kimimaru, Sasori, Mifune. But let me know which characters you'd like to see in Season 2 of Shinobi Striker. If you've stopped playing, let me know which character would actually bring you back to the game. I look forward to reading your comments. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We got anime games for days. Don't forget to visit otakucharms.com and enter promo code Globku at checkout for 10% off anything you purchase. Oh, and the last character on my wish list, it's Gregory. Boy.